All right, it looks like we're back live for today's coding session. We're going to pick up right where we left off yesterday. I am coding here a final project for CS50w using React in the front end and Django in the back end. Now, I'm just wondering if the video looks good today. I did update some of the settings here. I think it's available in 4K now. Yeah, 4K 60 it should be. So hopefully it looks okay for you guys. Let me know in the comments here. I'll go and start jumping right in. So we've already kind of coded some of the stuff. Again, this is a Django application, which I am hoping to turn in for... yeah, so I see that I'm getting a bunch of errors here. So give me a second, even though my... yeah, I'm fixing it. Hold on, I'm fixing it. Let's stop streaming here. Okay, so I'm trying again. Hold on, just fixing a couple of settings here. I'm like updating. Here 12.5, still getting some type of error here. I'm not really sure. So I'm actually running a fiber connection here with almost a gigabit, almost a gigabit connection here. So give me a second. I'm trying to diagnose here. I was hoping that I'd be able to kind of up the quality for this stream moving forward, like to 4K. But I don't know what the issue is. Like, I'm on. Hold on. Yeah, so it looks like it's still lagging. Or at least that's what I can see here. Let me know, guys, in the comments if that's also what you see. All right, I'm gonna stop the stream again, and I guess I'm gonna have to go back to yesterday's settings, and we'll take it from there. Hold on. Yeah, so it doesn't look good at all. I'm gonna stop now. Hold on, stop streaming. Trying again here. Let's see if it works now. I'm not getting any drop frames. It looks like it's looking okay over there. Let's see here. Okay, let's see now. I'm not getting any drop frames. All right, so I think it's working now. Let me know in the comments, but I believe I fixed most of it at this point. And I was somehow, I guess I was able to keep the 4K resolution here. Let me see. Quality. Yeah, so it's still, I managed to keep the 4K resolution. I'll try to diagnose this better for tomorrow, but that was the idea. So let's get right into it. So again, I'm working on this final project here. And the idea behind this whole app is that I'll be able to turn it in for a final project for CS50w, as well as hopefully being able to publish this to AWS, managing that app from there, getting users, marketing the app. So really, I'm trying to do a little bit more than the requirement for the course. I'm still going to turn this in as a homework, but I'm hoping to also learn a lot more just about deploying applications, which is not something that the course teaches. That's more of like a DevOps thing, but I'm looking forward to learning about that. And also, you never know, like I'm trying to get users and whatnot. Who knows? Maybe I managed to build a tiny app here that I'd be able to monetize. We'll see. And I feel like a lot of that is not just how good the app is, but also how good the marketing is and whatnot. And a good part of marketing, a good part of, attracting and holding onto users, in my opinion, is good customer service. So that's what we're working on right now. We've already finished part of this app. So I'm going to show you here. Let's get into VS Code quickly. And first I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. I was playing around with this yesterday, but here, make it a little bigger. Okay, I think you can see it better now. And hold on. We're going to CD into CS the correct place here. It's my final okay. And we're going to do a source of this here. Again, this just gets us into our virtual environment, so that if we install any libraries or any dependencies here, whenever we go and publish the app on AWS, the dependencies will come with it instead of having to reinstall everything. Also, reinstalling everything by hand is a little bit, it's prone to error. Like if you do things by hand and you don't automate things, you could introduce bugs to your code. All right, thanks. I'm at YouTube, so now the stream looks good. Okay, great. I'm happy to hear. So let's go here, and we do Python of manage pi. Hold on. What do we got here? Clear. Yeah, so I actually have to go one back. Yeah, so here, sorry, that would be Python of manage pi run server. This just gives us our testing server here, and we can just go in there, and you'll see we've already implemented some of the stuff. So if I go into my feedback app here, and again, these are all like smaller apps inside of my Django project. I have this ability here to, add a comment and like upvote and whatnot. User feedback, and the idea behind this is that the users themselves will submit what it is that they want to see, what features they want to see in the app. Okay, now I'm getting a bunch of errors again here from YouTube saying that my bitrate is too low and whatnot. So if you guys think that I should stop the stream and like rework the settings over here, let me know. Otherwise, I'll just keep going here. To me, it looks like it's, I see the stream and I see that it's working well, so I'm going to leave it alone. But if you guys feel like something's weird on your end, let me know and I'll try to fix it. So yeah, I was saying that here in this app, right? So the idea here is that users will submit what it is, what features they want to see in the app. And I, as a developer, I would just go ahead and log in here. Let's say I have a couple users. I don't know, just throwing out, I have 100 users, let's say. I'll just log in here and take a look at what it is users are saying that they want to see. And then I'll just say, okay, great. This option over here has 7 comments. Maybe it's been upvoted a ton of times. So I'll take a look at it. And if it's something that makes sense to me, I'll go ahead and develop that right away instead of having to come up with new ideas. So this is all done. And as you can see, it's responsive. So it's looking okay. And now we're working on sort of the second app of this project, which is called Help or Support. And the idea here is very simple. It's like what it says. It's tutorials and support. So the idea here is that we want to give people an easy way to communicate with us, or with me specifically as the developer, and get any help that they need quickly. Well, at the same time, I want to filter out, like, I don't want to get a bunch of requests of just people asking me how to reset their password, right? That would just be a waste of time. So I want to just make a little section here that has like these tutorials and has a way for them to reach out to us. So that's the open service ticket. And I don't know if that's the best way of naming this button. Let me know if you think it should say something else, like contact us, for example, or contact support, maybe something along those lines. And then we'll have this section down here, which will be very similar to what we designed here in our Figma. Again, I'm running Figma here. This is like this UI UX app where you can design your website before you build it. I have a little bit of experience with design from my previous background. Before I got into coding, I was actually like freelancing as a videographer and making videos and that sort of thing. And I also did a couple websites for a couple people. You know, I would make a video for someone, get to talk to them for a while. Eventually, I would say, hey, by the way, so a lot of times they would ask me, like, how did you... Basically, the way I got into web development was that I was a freelance videographer, you know, just making videos, like promotional videos for small businesses and nonprofits. And I would just, I needed a way to market myself, right? So I built a little website and I iterated it. I actually put a ton of effort into it. And I built that little website, and then I got Google Ads, and then kind of like, you know, that's how I marketed my business. And people would ask me like, "Whoa, that's such a nice website. Like, like, I also need a website. Who's your developer? Like, we also want a website. We want to hire him." So I say, "Hey, you're looking at him. Like, I developed my own website." They were like, "Wow, that's amazing." So they, it ended up being that I built a couple websites for a couple of my customers. And how do we get into that? So yeah, that's sort of like how I got into WordPress. And so I do have a little bit of experience with design and that sort of thing. So this Figma app allows you to design everything before you go ahead and code it, which in my opinion is a time saver, because that way you're not coding up things on the go and then you start coding things you don't need. So it becomes unnecessary. So here in the design, you'll see that I have like these tabs up here and then the content. So I want to do something similar in the actual implementation, but it's not going to be the same pixel by pixel because I'm running here a Bootstrap library, framework, whatever you want to call it, which means that I'm not going to be like, I'm not going to be spending time on making sure that everything is perfect pixel by pixel. I'm just going to run with it. And in general, things are in the page where they need to be. So let's get right into it. I think we can already kind of start coding this in. So the first step will be a tutorial how can people connect one of their accounts in. So we're going to just put that over here. Like, we have this navigation here. The active one has the information here. So that's sort of like what I want to do. I want to have like, so that the active one has the text that we want, and as we click around it, it sort of displays what we need. So I think the way to do that actually is to use plain old JavaScript. That might be what I'll do. But let's take a look. So inside of this, right? So we have like this UL. What am I looking at here? This is basically a UL LI. So it's just like I guess similar to like it's a list. So it's I think it's an untitled list. That's what UL stands for. And then list item for LI. So basically it's a list. All this code does here is actually just control my stuff here, my links at the top. So I'm going to go ahead and start renaming these. From active, I'm going to call the first one Zoom. And I'm just going to copy word for the second one is going to be YouTube. And I'm going to copy this one here, LI. I'm going to copy twice here, 1 and 2. So I need 2 more. So it'll be YouTube email sharing. So it'll be Zoom, YouTube, email sharing, and WhatsApp. Just like that. And if we reload here, yeah, so that's sort of Zoom, YouTube, email sharing, WhatsApp, and disabled. Zoom, YouTube, email sharing, WhatsApp. Disable, I guess we can take that one out. I don't really need that, so we'll take that one out. Okay. And we're done, I think. We're done for our menu at the top here. Reload. So yeah, this is, again, almost one-to-one as my design. Just, it's not the exact same thing, just because I'm not going to spend time on that. Now, the way that it works in JavaScript is very simple. I'm going to have a couple of divs. Each div will be associated with one of these options. Whenever I click on one of these options, I'm going to change the div's visibility. I'm going to check the stream one more time. It's still getting a bunch of errors from YouTube here. Change the div. The div's visibility. I'm going to check the stream one more time. It's still getting a bunch of errors from YouTube here. All right, so whatever. I think it's looking okay. I will diagnose this more for tomorrow, but I think today it's working okay. So yeah, this is sort of what we need to do. Now, I'm going to, again, put this a couple of divs in there. Now, you'll see that we have this card body, okay, and whatnot. Got it. So I actually didn't, I'm not seeing this because I have this problem right now. I need to text dark it. Yeah. So that's how that will do. And I gotta also do that for here. So I'm not getting into why this is happening, but I just need to update all my global settings for the whole thing at some point later. Like, it's not so urgent right now. I've just kind of been patching it up like that, but that's sort of what we want, okay? And we'll see that these are showing up next to each other, which is, I'm not sure that's the, maybe that's not the behavior that we want. So we'll take this class out for a second. And you'll see that's sort of what we're looking at. And I'm sure we can edit that as needed just to show, you know, the correct thing here. But I'm going to go ahead and start adding my information here. So it's going to be just a copy paste from here, how to connect your Zoom account. And we'll probably have videos for all these things. So that's sort of what's going to go over there. Click on the video below. Let's see. We always want to tell people what it is that they're, you know, clicking on. Click on the video below to watch a full tutorial on how to connect your Zoom account to Teleport, the name of this app. Okay, reload this. Okay, and hold on. Let's see. How does this actually work? Yeah, so it looks a little bit messed up the way that it's the way that it shows things here. You see that? So it's a little bit messed up, but it's starting to take shape, and I like how it's, you know, it'll probably be okay. So my card body, how to connect your I might need to edit these classes later on. I'm just going to leave this broken for now because I know more or less what I need to do here. Right? I think I do. I don't really know. I mean, this is all indented towards the middle. Card title and card text. Let's take these out. Let's take this one out as well. And reload this. And take this one out as well. Reload. Align left, maybe? How do you chat, or is it CS50w.ai? Log in. Align items or text to the left. And then I'll just paste the code that I have here. All right, so we'll undo some of the stuff that I did here. And then we'll just add here text left. Okay, that looks better. I'm not sure that we need this card body in there, so we'll take that out. And so that's sort of what it would look like. I would say let's put a padding as well of a 4. So that would be a P4. Yeah, something like that, okay? And we can take that button out. I don't really need that. We'll take out this button. So that's this one here. And here I would just want to add a video. So let's see how I can do that. Add video placeholder. Let's see, YouTube. Yeah, so I need to use this iframe thing here. I'll do that. I'll paste here, and then I'll just grab a video from my channel. Really, any video. Let me see here. Hold on. I'll just grab a video here. I'll grab this one. This video. Yeah, so I'm going to paste in the source here my video ID. And I'm going to reload all of this now. So Firefox is yelling at me, I guess. Let's go ahead and open this in a different browser. Hold on. Let's just go into Chrome. All right, hold on. So that's 127. All right, so you'll see that because I'm not logged into Chrome here, it gives me this error here. So we'll take a look at it in a minute. We just log in for a second. Okay, so that's what it looks like. And we can go in our page down here. We have that. And refuse to connect. Why is that? Maybe I have to allow the video to be embedded. Maybe that's part of what's going on here. Let me see. Hold on. And so I want to share it. And I want to embed it. Okay. So I'm going to copy it here. And I'm just going to paste all that code into here. Yeah, so it looks a little bit different now. Reload. And there it is. So it's getting to the place where this is the desired functionality. Okay. And actually it's loading fine on Firefox now. I guess I was using the wrong code before. And by the way, this is the video that you should watch if you're just getting to CS50 now and you're wondering where you should start, what they have a bunch of different courses. So in this video, you can see, just how to take CS50 in general, how to go about, start from Python, move on to the main course, move on to this course that I'm working on now, then the AI, whatever it is. So over there, you have all the information. So let's continue here. That would be how to connect your Zoom account. So let me see what else I had here. And then advanced Zoom settings. So I'm just going to copy paste all this one for one. Let me see here. So in my, so I'll just go ahead and copy this, and down here, advanced zoom settings. Click on the video below to learn how to optimize, to customize your zoom settings. Okay. And we'll have another video there. We'll do a different one. We'll do the second one here. I think it's that one. And we'll reload. Hold on. I think it wants me to copy it straight from here again.
So you figured out.
Hold on. There'll be a share, embed that. Okay. And that'll all go inside of an iframe. There we go. Reload. And that's what it would look like. Okay. Now I'm just using these two videos here as obviously as placeholders. And by the way, I would say these are the two videos you should watch if you're just getting into CS50 now. The first one, obviously, how to take CS50. The second one, how to get your free certificate afterwards. And that's it. I think that's it for this Zoom section here. I might want to add at the end a little something. So it might just be still didn't find what you were looking for. And then over here, we just want to do an A. We'll close that A. We'll do an href. We'll do a class of btn, and then btn primary. And then we'll see here, contact. We'll add here, sorry, contact support. Let's see. Okay, that's looking a lot better. Again, these are all just video placeholders. I will actually have to record all these tutorials and put them in there for the users. At the moment, I'm just using these two just to hold the place. But once I record them, I'll update them here. This down here doesn't look so good. I think it should be more of a call to action, like a CTA. Bootstrap gives us this sort of thing also. So I'm going to take a look down here. I forgot what it's called exactly, but we'll find it here in a second. Toes, spinners, not. Button group, no. Badge, no. Alerts, maybe we could do it as an alert. I don't know, not necessarily. I was thinking of doing the upper button as an alert. I was thinking of doing this up here instead of a button. Do it as an alert. Okay. Again, I want to be able to make it very simple for people to reach out to us, while at the same time making it obvious that I only want them to reach out if they cannot help themselves first with the videos and the tutorials. See here. Helpers, clear fix. What is this? No. Stacks. Vertical rule. Utilities. Hold on. Is it a card? Is that what I'm looking for? A card here? I don't think it's a card. Card have... Oh, yeah, it is a card. Hold on. Yeah, we're looking for something like this. Hold on. Basically, this one here. Basically, that. Let me see if that's the best one. Yeah, let's just use this one. So let's plug that in here. All right, so that's what we're going to plug in there. And this will just be the call to action. We'll delete that in a second. We'll delete this one up here. So again, we just finished. We're just going to have here the video. And then we're going to have this card here with all of this call to action here. Which is an interesting one because it's not a call to action to buy anything. It's just a call to action to get help. Yeah, I think that's the way to do it. And we can take this out. Go somewhere would be open service ticket. And we can replace this text here to say something generic like if you watched the video tutorials above and you still need help, contact us. Okay, let's see how that would look like. So that's what we would have here. That's what we have here. Reload this. And that's what it would look. That's what it looks like. I just need to make sure everything is text dark. Yeah. So that's text dark. Let's try that again. Reload. And that's what it looks like. I would take this out. I would just get rid of contact at the top and replace it with this. Still didn't find what we were looking for. And then take this H5 out. And then that. Let's see. Yeah, this looks about right. And if I close it, let me see here. So none of this stuff is responsive at the moment, which is a problem. I do need to make it responsive. So we'll deal with that later. But let's say that the smallest size would be like that. So I guess that looks okay. I mean, so I would just replace this with contact us. So I still have some work to do there, but this is the general idea behind it. Like how this would be the flow. Like I would have 2 videos here, and then still didn't find what you were looking for. If you watched the video tutorials above and still need help, contact us. And then you click here, and it will open a new, open service ticket. I'm going to replace that with contact us. Make it clear. Okay, that looks good. Make this. Now, how do I make the button? Let's see how to make the button. The button display text in one line always. And paste that. I'm gonna copy paste that whole thing. Maybe it's that no space white space, whatever, no wrap. Maybe that's what it needs. So I'm just gonna replace all this A with that, and let's see now. Hopefully it works. Hopefully it doesn't break, but it is broken now, so that's not something that React allows you. I'm running React. Let's see. I'm running React and Bootstrap. So it has to be like that. Okay. Let's try that again. I don't think it's gonna work, but let's see. You see it doesn't work. So I do have a bit of an issue with this trying to add styles to React. It's not something that's necessarily fully supported as far as I understood it. So I'm gonna leave it out. Let's try again. And it is working. Just using it. That's it. Text, no wrap. That's what we needed. I think that should work now nicely. And it looks like this. I guess I need the whole button to do that. Hold on. I need the whole button to not wrap. I need the whole button to not wrap. DN line block. We're just gonna keep adding classes here until it works, you know. Let's see now. No, it's still not working the way it's supposed to. Okay, but yeah. Also, this whole thing should have a margin here. Class card and margin at the top should be 4. And you'll see now we have that nice space there. Still didn't find with so I'm still trying to figure this one out. I'm not really sure, you know, what to do here. I wish the button just stayed the way it is, because it works okay, I guess, sort of. Okay. And so you see that this looks actually kind of nice. It looks a little bit plain, but at the same time, it looks kind of nice and organized and whatnot. And that's the power of Bootstrap, that very quickly, just by including some CSS, some classes in there, things look nice. So that's that. Let me see what else we need to do here. If you watch the video tutorials above, let's see, rewrite this. Okay. I guess that makes a little bit, that's just better English, I think. If you still need help after watching the video tutorials above, please contact us. Now, I am putting here twice the contact us. So maybe this should just be like without a button. Contact. So it should say us up here. Contact us. If you still need help after watching the video tutorials, please contact us. Let me redo this here for a second. So I don't like that I'm saying the same thing twice, basically. So I'm saying contact us twice. Reach out to us. Okay, whatever. Just copy this random text here. Paste it inside the P. Okay. I guess that makes better sense. Now it's still not making sense to me how to get the button to work correctly. I have a couple of ideas, but yeah, I think this is gonna have to go below it after that. Request support. Hold on. Request support. I like that one. Request support. All right, so we have that request support at the top and down here as well. So we have it in two places there. I think it's very obvious at this point where people need to go. And it's the only button in the whole page. Like, it's just the same thing. You should basically only have one button per web page, or at least one primary one. And if you need a secondary one, it should be supporting the primary one. So it could be like request support or more info about support or about how to contact, that sort of thing. This looks good. Let's continue here. Let's try to make this so that so now all this stuff here actually needs to go inside of, hold on, I need to give this an ID. So I'm going to give it an ID of Zoom tutorial. And you'll see why in a minute. Now I'm going to go ahead and copy paste this here. And let's see. So I think it should go over here. If not, we'll figure it out. And this will be called YouTube tutorials. Okay. And you see there's nothing here at the moment. I mean, I think there might be. Hold on. No, I don't think there is. There isn't. Okay. Okay, YouTube tutorials. And inside of this YouTube tutorials, I'm just going to copy paste everything that we saw over there. So it's going to be like this, how to connect your Zoom account. Yeah, so we're going to copy all of this here. And actually everything that's inside of it. Yeah, like that and like this. And if we reload it, it'll all show, it probably all show in one page, as you can see here, right? So it's all showing in one page. I'm going to change this now. It's not going to be Zoom account. This is going to be something else. So let's imagine that we're on the second page already. So as you can see over here in the design, we'll have also like a YouTube option. So it'll be same thing just for YouTube. So it'll be, let's copy paste all that. So that'll be how to connect your YouTube account. How to connect your YouTube account. Let's see here. how to connect your YouTube account, your YouTube account. Okay, and also a couple of videos. I'll just upload, put in some placeholders as well here. Yeah, so it's right here. We'll just do iframe. We'll paste that in. Advanced YouTube settings. Customize your YouTube settings. And again, we'll put in a different video there. Okay.
So it's that time.
Hold on, share, embed that, and advanced YouTube settings. So I have my iframe up here like that, and we can go ahead and reload our page. Okay, so this is starting to take shape here. So you'll see we have like these multiple sections here. We'll have how to connect your Zoom account, how to connect your YouTube account, right? And also we'll have email sharing. So we'll copy paste all of that. Again, I'm just roughing all this in. You'll see how we're actually going to use JavaScript to convert all of this stuff into these options here. So right now when I click, nothing happens, but something will happen. Just give me a second. Again, we're gonna go ahead and copy all of this. I think up until the second to last one. Let me see. Yeah. Copy. Paste. Paste. Let's see. So it's like this, and then like this, and 3. So I have the same thing 4 times. That's good. Let's do a couple more here. So that would be for the 3rd and 4th one. So that's 1, 2. I think the 3rd one is this one. 3, 4. Yeah. So let's do the 3rd one now. And I need to find, I guess, 2 more videos. Just as again, I'm just putting in placeholders here. Guess we'll use in some of the recent videos here. Here's a good example of a video which I spent a ton of time editing and filming and whatnot. And it only got maybe 300 views, not much. So we'll put in here iframe. Okay, and I have another one here to put in. Share, embed that one, iframe. And we're up to the 4th page, or what would be the 4th page. And we'll put in a couple more.
Live.
And so share, embed. Yeah, so this iframe here will replace with a new video. And also this one. Also this one. And that's the iframe. Very nice. We can go ahead and reload this page now. Okay, so these are all, again, placeholders. I will be changing all these videos for the correct tutorials that I have to film still and put them out there and edit and all that. But the idea, obviously, that, you know, we have a couple features here. And so how to connect your Zoom account, the YouTube settings part. And then here we have to add our email stuff. So in Figma, I already have it here. How to connect your Gmail Outlook account. Let's see. That would be up here. Yeah, so how to connect your email accounts. Okay, and afterwards we have in Figma here we'll have something called setting up email lists. By the way, all this stuff we're going to be developing it on the live stream. How do you actually use an API like a Gmail API to set up email lists? Setting up email lists. You can know how to customize your email lists, set up your email lists. Okay, and we'll actually add one more here. So it'll be an H5PA iframe. We'll add one more here, and that one shall say advanced email settings. Okay. That'll go here. So click on the video below to learn how to set up your advanced email settings. Okay. After that, we have call to action, and then we have another thing. So that will be like a different page altogether. That will be the next thing here. Activating WhatsApp and SMS. That will be just one video. So what I can do, I'm going to fix this in a second. So how to connect. Activating, click on the video below to watch your full on how to connect your WhatsApp account to teleport. And we'll call this WhatsApp notifications. Okay. And that's it. And we'll take out this other one here. So this H5, we don't need it. We don't need this either. And we don't need this one actually. I'm going to put somewhere else. And that's it. Okay. We'll put it down here. Here. Let's reload our page and see what we just did. I know we did a lot there. So again, these will be the separate pages. So right now it's not doing anything. We're going to set that up in a second. But the idea is here, which is, you know, we have tutorials for that one thing, tutorials for something else. And these are all separate pages, right? This is another tutorials. And I'm just using placeholder videos here. I'm actually going to change all these. And that, okay? And by the way, even though I'm using placeholders here, I do recommend you guys watch all these videos. I think there's a lot of good information there, especially if you're just starting out to code now, or if you're just trying to get into the industry. All right, so that's that. Now let's go ahead and try to make this work, this menu option. So the first thing we got to do is make sure, so each of these pages basically is living inside of its own div, dedicated div, which we have declared up here. So you'll see that this ID here of Zoom tutorials is for this div. If we scroll down, we'll have YouTube tutorials. And if we scroll down again, we'll have, I got to rename this to email tutorials. And if we scroll down again, this has to become WhatsApp. Okay. Now, basically, I'm going to take a look because I've done this before in just plain old JavaScript. It could be that's what we need to do. So let's take a look here. Let's just ask the AI for now. How to so how to, when loading the page in React, when loading the page, how to show this div and hide these. We're gonna hide this one, right? I'll just plug one in and duplicate for everyone else. Again, I know how to do this in JavaScript, but I haven't actually yeah, so we'll use a okay, we'll just do it with use effect. I think that's the way to do it for sure. Hold on. Let's go ahead and start coding this in. I don't think that the code the CS50 AI is giving us. So again, this is just like CS50's ChatGPT. I don't think the code is 100% correct, but it's definitely guiding us in the correct direction. So let's take a look up here. I am already initiating this use state and use effect with React, so we don't need this line. Also, we don't usually import it from React the way, so this code is not exactly how I would do it or how the course teaches us how to do it. This is the correct way of writing that piece of code. So now that we have that out of the way, inside of my tutorial component, so that would be inside of my navigation component, I want to go ahead and declare a couple of things here. The first thing would be these here, and we can set all these to, yeah, the default, well, I guess will be set show zoom. That's the way we kind of hard coded that in. Okay. And if we go on our app here, I still have to fix these buttons, but if we go on our app here, you'll see everything is still showing here, right? We have these options up here, which are not doing anything at the moment, but the default is always going to start with the first one. So that first one is called zoom, and that's show zoom. The default here should be true. So again, this is why I'm saying that the AI is really not that great at giving you the answer, really. False. Okay, so show zoom will be set to true, so that'll be the default. And if we wanted to change that, we have to use this dedicated setter function. And I'm actually gonna continue writing here because I don't have all of them. Const what was it again? We have Zoom, we have YouTube, we have our email stuff. So I would say show email would be set show, and I have a typo there, email. If I can type, show email, set show email is equal to use I haven't been reading the comments, but I see here Farhan Sheikh says, "Hey, hello, how are you? How are you, sir?" I feel like you've been commenting here a couple times. Also, Sushan Dahal. Actually, I'm not sure. Sushan, have you seen the previous live streams? If so, welcome back. If not, welcome. You state. So here we're just setting these variables here just as a way of saying that basically I have all these things which really should be separate pages associated with these menu options, but the way that it works in JavaScript is you just code all of them to one page and then you unhide your divs as necessary. So I want to just show the first set of divs and then the rest of them I want to hide, and that's what we're setting up here. So we have show zoom is true, YouTube false, show email false, and I think the last one is WhatsApp. So that would be const WhatsApp set show WhatsApp would be a use state of false. Use state of false. Okay, and if you guys are just tuning into the live stream now, wishing you all the best in your coding journey. I've gotten to this point after, I think now it's been actually 2.5 years, maybe even 3 years of slow, steady 1 or 2 hours per day. Yeah, I mean, I start from zero. You can find here, you know what, actually in the channel here you can see my first video I just got an email today that the channel's 3 years old today. So I guess I started 3 years ago, the channel, but at the beginning I wasn't really putting out content. What was I doing here? CS50 final. Hold on. I have to sort this by date. Yeah, I've made private a lot of my first videos because they don't really have anything to do with coding. But my first coding video came out in January 8th, 2022. So that's actually today. Yeah, actually, yeah, today's 3 years to the dot that I started coding. That's amazing. Look at that. Here's the video that you guys could watch. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and put it as one of the things here. So let's say, yeah, this last one here. I'm just going to add it here. Here. Share. Embed. That's cool. We're using as sharing the video with you as part of as I'm doing this. So here. So day one coding, where to start. This is literally the first video I ever put on the channel. I mean, as it shows up right now. And yeah, I mean, I started there. This was actually before, I would say before CS50. I started here with the Odin project, and I was there for maybe 2 weeks or maybe more, I don't know, a couple weeks, and then I moved on to CS50. But over there I learned my very first like HTML, CSS, and very basic JavaScript, like just like declaring variables and accessing them. And I kind of started getting the hang, and I was like, this is really nice, but I felt like the Odin project was a little bit all over the place. It didn't feel so structured of a curriculum. And also I was doing the Odin project as part of like a paid boot camp. And like the boot camp had this pre-course work through the Odin project. And at that point, it kind of hit me that the whole thing might have been a scam, and that they were just going to charge me money for basically teaching me using free resources. At that point, I decided, I remember Harvard, and I just signed up, and I've been there until today. As you can see, what I've done a few of their courses. So yeah, guys, inspiring you. This is literally my first day coding ever. I made a little video about it. And today, I guess the video that you're watching right now, this live stream is my latest video in coding. So you can see the progress where I'm building all these apps and whatnot. So that is definitely very cool. Anyhow, so the way it works, again, in React here is, and also in JavaScript, but React makes it a little bit simpler. So we have these four items here, which correspond to our div, and this whole div will be like its own page. So this whole thing here is one page, this whole thing here is another page, this whole thing here up until the here down here is another page, and then the last page is this one, like this one down here. So I want to link these menu options, and the way to do that is to hide, unhide the divs depending on what you push here. So let's go up. And navigation, so we have that correct. So show zoom and whatnot, and let's see here. Got it. And so we have to write a bunch of conditionals. I'm not sure, again, that this is the correct way to write that. I have a different way of writing if else, so we'll do that. You know what, screw it. I'll just write it like this and see if it works. My use effect, I just have to think about this for a moment. Like my click, whenever I click on one of these, so this is going to be a multi-part solution here, but whenever I click one of these, I want to make email sharing active, and then I want to make everything else inactive. Okay, so Shushan saying hello. You're really an inspiration. I saw your previous live after it ended, and you're really motivated to continue programming journey. Yeah, just continue, man. How do you get ideas for projects? How do I get ideas for projects? Is very simple. I try to make apps, and when I say apps, I really mean one app. This is actually my first app ever. Maybe technically my second one, but the first one was a freelance gig that I did for someone, and he needed a website for his he has like a online school. He just needed a website to be able to put all his class material, all his courses and his materials in there. And so it was really built like a simple HTML CSS website with a very small amount of JavaScript. Like the JavaScript was basically just a way to hide all the course materials, and it would ask you, the user, to put in a password, and then once you put the correct password, it will show you all the materials. And so that was the first app that I built, even though it didn't really have much logic, so I wouldn't consider that an app. So technically, this is really my first app. Where do I get ideas? It's very simple. I'm just trying to scratch my own itch, basically. So I'm aware of a certain problem, and I'm trying to write an app to solve it. That's basically the easiest way to, I would say, come up with ideas. Try to think in your life what it is. Is there something in your life which you're doing manually? And the CS50 course teaches you this. Is there a way? The CS50 course is teaching you, is there anything in your life which you are doing manually, repetitively, that you can automate? One easy place to look is Excel sheets. Is there anything that you're doing with an Excel sheet that you could be doing by just writing a Python script? That's probably a good way to get started, automating something and eventually making an app out of it. One thing. And so there's definitely a couple things that I'm aware of right now for which I want to write apps. This is actually the first app that I want to write. I just want to get good here at like integrating APIs. I want to get good at using integrating authentication, and I want to get good at AWS and like actually publishing this app onto the server and doing that kind of thing, which is different from just developing. But I definitely have an idea of like another app that I want to write, which again, it's basically like these two teams of people which are working on a common project, but they're running like two different apps. One of them is running on like one task manager, the other one is running on like another one, and they're communicating via email, and like a lot of information gets lost in emails, because if you guys are aware, when you work for a company and most of the communication is happening via email, and like a lot of these emails are just trivial, like, hey, I uploaded the file, like why do I need an email about that? Like I should have an app that just tells me what's going on. So that's a good place to automate. I might have mentioned it before, but if you guys don't know what to code, I would say scratch your own itch. Solve a problem that you already have. And if you don't have a problem, if you can't think of a problem you already have, so I would say try to get a job somewhere, or try to be in touch with a company somewhere, a small company, a small business, something along those lines. And like this might be a little bit harder because you kind of have to work somewhere to understand the workflow. But I assure you that for most medium-sized businesses, that's anywhere between 50 employees and 500. I am assuring you that it's a nightmare what they're doing in terms of their IT, in terms of their software implementations, in terms of how do they actually run their business. You'll be shocked how many companies run on Excel. Like it's nuts. Like there's so much room to write very custom software for very specific use cases. So I would say that's where I would go. I would go more the business route, like the B2B route. That's also, so it's my goal is to make SaaS. Like SaaS is like apps that people pay monthly for, but specifically tailored to resolve very, very specific business problems. Like on the one hand, your customer base might be very small, which is nice because you could be in very direct contact with them and build very custom things that maybe even just one company needs. On the other hand, I think you could charge a premium for that. You could charge a lot more per user because you're building something so custom and so specific and solving maybe even such a niche problem. Those are just my 2 cents. That's like one way of doing things. Like go solve very, very specific problems for a very small amount of people. Another one would be to solve you know, a more general problem for which there maybe is a little bit more competition, and who your final customer is probably just the average person. That's also another. I mean, those are two way. One is like business to business problems. The other one is business to customer problems. Are you doing CS50 web course project? Do they give you some idea of React, or you learned it by yourself? Yeah, so they have a very good React lecture. I am mostly sticking to the stuff learned there. That's why I keep saying the AI is not giving me the code how I write it, because I know how to write I know how to write React, how the course is teaching it. And I would stick with that. And yeah, they have, I would say if you want to learn React, just take CS50w. That's what I'm finishing now. This is the final project for that. How am I handling logging sign up? So logging sign up is a built-in Django feature. The way it works is you just make a couple of views here to handle that for you. I think I might have just done that over here. Let me see. No, it's not here. Maybe it's in the teleport views. I hope I don't have any secret keys here, but yeah, so I have like my new user form. This is again a view in Django, which I created, and obviously it's connected to the front end via React. Actually, it might just be regular HTML, I'm not sure. The point is, it's connected to the front end. This creates a new user in the database, and then you have your login view, which authenticates the user. And this is actually so this, you see how I'm just passing the request and the user in this logging function here? That's the way, that's like a built-in Django feature. And so that's all I got to do. I just got to call that function. Now my user's logged in. If he wants to log out, I just got to call the logout function on the request, and that's it. I'm done. So it's very easy. And I think most of this code is just copy pasted from my previous projects. And then register is just someone can just go ahead and register. Now that's that. I did try, and if I log out here, you see I am trying to implement for this project this sign in with Google, sign in with Zoom. So that's a library in and of itself. It's not perfect. It is actually working at the moment. I still haven't figured out how it's working. I mean, I just follow the documentation. It's logging my users in. It's logging them out. But I'm not sure if I'm actually saving user information. Like if somebody's signing via Google or Zoom, I still want to record their email and like their username and password, I guess just their email and their name, maybe just like a very basic user information. I want to record that in my own database. And I want to make sure that that's, because in the own database, in that table, I'm assuming that I have to add their, like all these relationships between the user, their Zoom account, their Google account, etc. So I'm still trying to figure out how to use this. Also, this is like logging me into a page, which is not ideal. It's not working ideal right now, but it is working. So I will maybe stream that in the future. I just stayed away from streaming at the moment. I did this outside of the stream because I really don't know what I'm doing. I just I just use the chat GPT here and the whatever to figure it out, and it is working, but it's not perfect. So for production, once I publish the app, I do have to fix this and make sure it's working 100% before I can actually allow users to use this feature. But I do have my test2 at Gmail. Yeah, but I do have like my very basic Django way of logging in, and that's how I log in. And the default is the actual app, which I still have not written. Again, I'm still going backwards on it. I'm starting to write the easiest features, which is this feedback, which took me almost 2 weeks to write. I finished that, and now we're working on this help feature. That's where we're holding with the app. What are you doing, BTW? Any kind of job? Yeah, so I'm actually an IT project manager for a tech company. And I really believe the reason I got that is because I managed to market myself as someone who knows how to code, while at the same time knowing how to do IT. So I actually took the Google IT course, which I do not recommend. Do not take that course. If you want to learn IT, you should take David Bomball's course on Udemy, which I'm actually taking right now as a way to get my CCNA certification. David, here, let me show you. Bomball. Let me see, where is it? Udemy. Yeah, it's this one here. This is the course that I recommend if you want to learn IT. And with this, you can it doesn't matter where you live in the world. Most likely in your area, you have to look this up. There will be like a testing center that you can just sign up to take the CCNA test. If you don't know what CCNA is, just look it up online. It's the certification that basically certifies you as like a certified IT specialist. And so I did something a similar course, but from Google. So I had that certificate, and I don't recommend their course. I think their course is crap compared to this. This actually gets you ready for the CCNA test. The Google course does not, and it's a very slow course, and half of the content, it's just watching a video and answering some questions without any projects, without anything like that. So it's actually don't take that course. But I did put it in my CV. I did have obviously CS50 also on my CV. And I showed people, I showed in the interview what I can code, and they were very impressed. They were looking exactly for that. They were looking for someone who just had the basics of IT and how to work with an IT team. I've learned a lot on the job about the specific thing that they do and they sell. So I've definitely learned a lot about their specific industry on the go, and they were okay with that. But at least my IT, like how to figure out IP addresses, how to ping servers, that sort of thing, I knew how to do that. And they really like that I know how to code, and they've given me many compliments for that. And twice or three times, I think, I've written Python scripts to automate certain processes in the company. For one of them, it was like a script that saved them like having to put an employee for a whole month to manually edit everything and all that data. I managed to just do that in 2 days by writing a Python script, and they were so happy about it that they gave me a bonus on the spot, $1,500. So I would say that's the sweet spot. Again, I cannot go and try to get a job as a back-end, front-end developer at a big company because I'm competing against people, at least in my area, who have bachelor's and master's degrees in computer science. Where I can compete is in the IT world, where most people don't know how to code. In my company, I'm the only person who knows how to code. That puts me in a very unique position, because even though I'm not an IT specialist, like some of the engineers that we actually have, like IT engineers working there, they're designing all these massive IT systems. I don't know how to do that, but I know how to code, and they don't know how to code. So it's this weird combination of being very helpful whenever they need me, while at the same time, most of the time, most of the day, most of the week, the month, whatever, I'm just doing my job. I'm just doing like what I would say it's an entry to mid-level IT job, nothing too crazy. So I would say that's the sweet spot that I would recommend you guys go for. Try to find, if you want to get your first job after CS50, just get off the pedestal that you're going to be able to get a full stack job. That's not happening. What could happen is that you can get an IT job. You can get maybe a QA job, like a testing job, that sort of thing. So these are like side industries, which still the salary is more or less the same as a full stack, but you're not competing with all these master's, bachelor degrees in computer science. Now, Sushan saying if I'm using a database or just a local database. Yeah, so right now, I'm just using my local database here. I have no idea what I need to convert that into. I mean, I could throw out some words. I could say MongoDB or Apache. I don't even know if Apache is a thing. I think Mongo might be the one that I go for. I've just heard that works well with Django. I'm not sure. I will have to look into that once. This is why I'm saying that I want to publish this app, because in the course, technically, I only have to develop all the views and all the URLs on the front end, and I could turn that in without publishing it. But publishing it is actually its own discipline in and of itself. It's DevOps. There's still a lot to learn there. How to implement your database, how to push your app to a Docker container on the cloud, how to do testing, how to do CI/CD. That type of thing is I want to learn that. So that's why I'm doing that. Even though it's not necessarily part of the course, they don't teach down the course. They do have a CI/CD lecture on it. I still haven't watched it, but I think that I watched some of it. It doesn't really get into the meat of the issue. It just kind of teaches you what it is that you need to learn in the future. So that's for this project. For the other project that I want to build afterwards, I am very, very strongly looking into using a very rare database, which is the Salesforce database. So basically, when you're building custom software for enterprise, a lot of these companies are running on Salesforce. And so on the one hand, you want to build a custom solution for them, but on the other hand, you don't want to migrate their data. You don't want to mess with their data. You want to leave their data the way that they know how to work with. Even if their Salesforce implementation is crap, and I've seen really bad Salesforce implementations, you kind of want your app to run in parallel to Salesforce, because you might have 50 employees at a company, 45 of them are, already used to working with Salesforce, and they don't want to change, right? So the best that you can do is build an app on the side, which through Salesforce's API is interacting with that data, okay? And hopefully slowly you can merge users over to your platform, but you probably most likely will not replace Salesforce. You'll just bring the functionality to them while still making them feel safe, making them feel like you're not going to lose all their data. So it's this weird balance. So again, they have something called Salesforce. What is it called? It's called Salesforce SQL, I think. SQL. Yeah, this one. SOQL. I don't know anything about it other than this is what I need to use. And obviously the documentation is here. It seems very similar to SQL. So I will be looking into this in the future, and who knows, maybe you're also allowed to use it as its own like hosted database. I'm not really sure, but I don't know if I also have to run like a MongoDB to interact with it. I don't know yet, but that's sort of the direction. Okay, so that's that. Let's get back into see if we can figure this one out. So again, I just want to have my JavaScript here control this stuff, and so what I want to say here is very simple. I want to make a conditional in my return statement for my, actually I'm in the wrong view here. I'm in the wrong file. Hold on. Index support. Yeah. So I want to make, in my return statement, I need to put in some, basically just some conditionals here. So if I'm going to go ahead and write it here. I believe it goes like this. It goes like this. So it will be an if, hold on, before I get into this, let me go in my other project here. I have in the feed, just the same project, different app. So I have my feedback here, and my feedback has the index for feedback. I'm just gonna take a look quickly here. Guys, there's multiple ways of doing this. Like to write a conditional if, else, elif conditional. In JavaScript, there's multiple ways of doing it. You can also do it as like a list and then choose which one. I'm not doing it like that. I'm just going to do, I could think of 3 different ways to do it. So whatever, you just do whatever you want, really. It doesn't make a difference. The important thing is the functionality. But yeah, so this is what I would do here, which would mean for me to add here this start writing here. No, it's not up here, sorry. Zoom tutorials. So Zoom tutorials, I'm gonna bring it up there, and it goes into YouTube tutorials. So I'm gonna close it down here. Okay, so I starting to write my conditional here. And what is the conditional? The conditional is if show zoom, and I think that we'll just check if show zoom is true. I believe that's all I gotta write. This actually means if show zoom is true. That's all I gotta write. Where is it? Then, and that's how you write then with a question mark. If show zoom is true, then display this whole thing, right? Else, and the else we're going to put at the end down here. Okay, and then else, okay, it's going to be empty brackets. And that's it. We're going to do that same thing for each one of these. So again, here we're checking for the YouTube tutorial if that is active. So that would be show YouTube, which right now is set to false. So this would not trigger that. So let's see. So that would be show YouTube. Okay. If show YouTube is true, then you want to display all this div. Okay. Else you want to show empty brackets. The same for here. If my emails, and what was it called? Show email. If my show email is true, then I want to display this stuff. Where are we? How to connect your Gmail. Yeah. Else, you want to display an empty whatever here. And the same here. What did we call it over here? We called it WhatsApp. Or actually, it's called show WhatsApp. Like that. Camel, what do you call that? Camel, you know, like when you put camel case. Let me see here. Request support. One second. I'm going to answer the question. See people on the chat here. Hold on. So, show WhatsApp will be all of this. Okay. Else empty brackets. Let's take a look. Reload this. Now it's not loading immediately. We'll diagnose it in a second. But Sushan is asking, do you have Instagram or LinkedIn or something that I would like to connect with you and what you're doing? I don't have any of that stuff. My LinkedIn, I haven't updated that in years. But if you want to stay in touch, I'll drop in here in the comments my email address. You can shoot me an email and we can talk. Hold on. Let me just find it. I don't even know my email by heart. Hold on. Here. Yeah, so feel free to just shoot me an email. Just let me know what you're working on, like what's your background, you know, that sort of thing. Just be in touch. So it's not working here. I'm going to inspect it for a second. And it's telling me, yes, I think I just have some type of, I have a typo here in line 78. Yes, it's just typos, nothing major. Line 78. Which line 78? Email tutorials, hold on. So my email tutorials, YouTube tutorials, email tutorials. Yeah, so I wrote the wrong thing here. So it's a question mark. Let's reload here. And now it works. And take a look at this. You see how we only have one page now? If you can't remember what it is I'm talking about, just rewind a little bit. You'll see what I mean. I had all of my pages showing at once. And now we only have one. You see that? Now I need to work on these buttons to actually hide on hide. That's it. The show email, there's something wrong. Yes, I fixed it. It's you're right. It was I wrote the wrong thing. It was supposed to be a question mark there. Whatever. I don't necessarily remember the syntax all the time. That's why I'm using all the time ChatGPT. And I'm starting to really understand where ChatGPT is useful and where it's not. It's very useful at helping me figure out what the syntax is. It kind of sucks at telling me what the structure of the code should be. I mean, it guides me in the right direction, but I still want to write it my own way, which makes more sense. So this is what that is. I still want to go ahead and work on these buttons now. So I need to add, I believe, an on-click property, or I can just add a... give me a second. I'm not sure what I need to add here. Is it an on-click? Is it something else? I'm not really sure. I mean, this is exactly how I wanted it to look. It looks great, and I didn't have to do any. Basically, I didn't do any graphic design here. All I did was just add a couple of Bootstrap classes, and I called it a day. This is definitely a type of web development that I like to do. And again, this is still looking quite different from what I originally had here, but the structure is the same. That's what I care about. I don't necessarily care about the fonts on the background, all that stuff. So what? This background is dark, and this one is light. I don't really care. Like, whatever. I'm sure we can update that in the future if we really needed to. If customers start complaining that this is bothering their eyes, I could update this to a dark background. For now, we'll leave it alone. Now I need to write a piece of code here that when I click here, it'll be an on-click property. When I click on it, it will hide everything. It will turn this into the active. So it's going to do a couple of things, actually. It's going to do a couple of things here. Let's just start with just the hiding and unhiding. We'll figure out, because here, if we click on YouTube, we want to make this the active tab, and then the other ones we want to show them differently. We'll figure that one out later. For now, let's just figure this one. Okay, and we'll continue here. Quick fix I want to do, just because it's really bothering me, would be this request support div empty4. So it's not empty4 over here. It should just be in the iframe. I wonder if I could just add a class as iframe. Class is equal to mb4. Let's try that. And we'll add it to the top one as well. Okay. All right, and reload this. Fine, I'm still trying to figure this one out. So let's click here and then let's see, how do I click on these? How do I click on these to select which one? React, how do I click on these to select which one to display? In React. Yeah, so I just need to figure out exactly, I guess, how to add the on click here. Okay. All right. In React, you can use stage manager step that have a condition to render content based on the active tab. Hold on. All right, so we have these here. Now I'm not understanding if I should just write here. Should I add an on-click? Should I add an on-click to this? Yeah, so I think that the way to do this would be to I think that we should go ahead and so here we're kind of typing the same thing in multiple times. I think we should just consolidate all these into one. And we did that in the previous page that we made. Let me see how that was done. Hold on. Which makes sense because otherwise it will reload the page multiple times here. Hold on. So it should be no. That's not it. Post feed here. No. No. Yes. Yes, this is how we do it. This is how we do it. Hold on. So I'm going to copy paste this here. And again, we're going to convert this to one const. So we have to do it like this. Otherwise, the page is going to load multiple times for each one of them. And also for a function, I really only want to have one function. You'll see what I mean. Like I just want to update whatever value I want and everything else turn to false. So that'd be fairly easy to do if you just have the one, like the one constant here, like this. Set state, I'm going to call it view. Okay, so that would be view and set view. Okay, and then we'll use the use state of, as we said, we want to have show zoom being false. Okay, sorry, being true. That'll be the default, true. So that's our show zoom equals true. Then we have show YouTube. Oh, hold on. Yeah, so like that. So then we have show YouTube. We have that will be false. This will again be a default. Show email. That'll be false. And show WhatsApp. Okay. And up here, show WhatsApp. I just want to say, yeah, thanks for joining, Shushan. I see that you left an email here. I'll take a look at it. 17 years old from Nepal. It's very inspiring, man. I wish you the best. Keep learning, keep growing. I'm assuming that in Nepal over there, you guys have like amazing nature and just like a lot of sports. And I'm assuming, yeah, I've never been there, but just enjoy nature, get out there, do fun things, and also don't forget to do your 1 or 2 hours of coding a day. Okay, and let's continue here. And show WhatsApp was the last one. Sorry, show email and show WhatsApp. So what are we doing here again? So this is all false. So again, this is something you got to be on the lookout. And CS50 is always teaching you this. Be on the lookout whenever you have 4 lines of code which look very similar to each other. This is probably something that you can factor out, like I just did here. In addition, because we're in React here, factoring out allows us to only update one variable, and because we're only updating one variable, the page will only reload once instead of 4 times, which is unnecessary. Okay, so we're gonna take that out, and then we need a function here similar to this, right? This will be a little bit of an advanced, probably the most advanced function I've ever written on the live stream here. So we'll go back here, we'll put it here. Yeah, so it'll be handle set view. Okay, and what do we want to do? We want to input something into handle set view. We want to input our view. Okay. Or I'm going to call it selected view. We want to input that. And then we want to use set view. Okay. I think we just want to have some type of conditionals here. I'm probably going to write this in the long way, but I'm sure there's a better way of writing it. I just don't know that much JavaScript, to be honest. I'm just going to write here, if selected view. Okay, Sushan, I will take a look at your portfolio. I don't know exactly when. Again, you see, like I have a lot of stuff going on, but I will take maybe I'll reply to you in a little I'll try to make a short about it, and we'll take it from there. I think that would be nice for everyone to see. I'll review your portfolio and I'll make a video about it. Okay. So be on the lookout. I'll try to reply to the email with the video link. Again, that's an idea. It might take a while for me to implement it, but it will. Hopefully, it'll come out soon. So here, we're doing this if-else situation here, which maybe it's not the best way of doing it. I'm gonna what's a better way of doing if-else for multiple cases in a JavaScript? I know there's a better way. I'm just going to try and find it. Switch. That's it. That's it. This is my... Do I need to have... Is the default mandatory? Okay, so let's copy paste the switch. That's what I wanted to use. So this is better than an if else statement because it allows us to you see, it allows us just to clean up our code a little bit. You'll see what I mean. And so we're gonna indent this in the correct place. I think it's like that. And again, this is starting to look like a handful. Again, this is probably the most complicated function I've written so far on the live stream. To me, yeah, I'm sure the use effect and the use, all this stuff is very complicated too. I mean, all this stuff here. But I'm saying in terms of, this is just like raw programming at this point. Like this is me actually figuring out an algorithm for this. Which I'm okay at figuring algorithms. I wouldn't say I'm great. I mean, I never took like an algorithms and data courses, data structures course. Definitely in the works. Princeton, I heard, has a very good one. David Malin, the CS50 instructor, he recommends you take Princeton's data structures course after CS50. So that's definitely in my bucket list. And again, I'm gonna delete this from here. I believe we need to keep the break in there, so I'm gonna leave it for now. Case 1 would be the case where my yeah, I do believe I need to do that. So yeah, I think I'm gonna see if you're actually allowed to do that, but I think that you can pass the selected view over to the switch like that. So what would be the first case? The first case is if selected view is equal to, if selected view equals zoom. Let's put in all the cases first, and then we'll take a look at how we actually implement that. Case 2 would be case where the second case is where the selected view equals YouTube, and then we break. I think we do need to break in there. I'm not really sure. And then we'll keep going here. My third case is where my selected view equals email. And then my fourth case is that when my selected view equals what do we say? What's up? This needs a lot of fine tuning, but we're getting to it. Break. Yeah, I'm gonna break. I think I break after I actually return set state. So let's just do the first one as an example. This would be set view, not set state. That would be set view. That's what we declared here. So handle set view will take the selected view and then it will switch it. So it'll say if the selected, so if, say I'm passing zoom here, so it'll say if it's zoom, then it will make everything else. I don't think we need to do pref state. I believe that we need to do here, use state of false. I believe, I'm not sure. State of false. And then show zoom true. And then show zoom of true. Sure, there's a smarter way of doing this. I don't feel like I'm doing the smartest way here. Hold on. I don't know that it's that. It should also actually be the pref state. I think it's the pref state, honestly. So Yeah, I think this will be a smarter word. So it would be the opposite of brief state. Or maybe not. I don't really know. Let's just leave it as so it would be dot dot dot. So everything else will be set to false. So that would be use state false. And then my show zoom will become use state of true. Okay, does that make sense? True. Okay, so we have selected view is zoom, right? So my set view will take the previous state and we'll make sure that everything else is false, and then show zoom becomes true. And that's it, I think. And then it breaks. Maybe it breaks, I'm not sure. Yeah, I think it breaks. And then we'll just copy all this for everything, basically. For all the other cases. So again, this will be for YouTube. And then show zoom will become show YouTube. Okay. And break. And then the same thing again. For my case here. And again, this would be email. And this becomes show email. So my show email, use state of true, everything else false. And one last one here. Case. My selected view will be WhatsApp. So my WhatsApp, everything else will become false except for show WhatsApp, which is going to be true now. Let me see if this is all correct. I'm just curious. This is definitely a handful of code here. Is this code correct before I even run it? Use state should not be called inside of the set view function. Instead, you should use the previous state and update the specific property. Two problems. Number one is if I do this three-way equal here, it means that I have to make sure that my zoom is actually a string. So I will have to account for that later. The same here. Handle set view. And so he's saying that I shouldn't call in use state. So I'm just going to leave this as false then. So like everything else will be false. And show zoom will be true. I think that's what they want to see. Like that. Like that. Like that. Is this code correct? I don't want pref state if one of those was true. I want all of them to be false. I want all the other values to be false. No. So he actually wants me to... Got it. So he actually wants me to do this whole thing here. Got you. Okay. And okay, so let's go ahead and just copy paste this again. What is the difference here is that when you're using the case, you don't need to write the equality. All you got to do is just write zoom like that, right? Case zoom, case YouTube, case email, and case WhatsApp. Okay. And then, but then our set view, they do want it to be a specific way. So I will have to write all that in there. It seems like there's no way to really factor out. Let me just copy the cases here to break. So the case. Word. Okay, so that's what should go there. We'll do one of these. Yeah, so we have, let's see, our set view, and then we break. So I'm just going to review everything again because most of the time the AI doesn't give us the correct answer. It just guides us in the correct direction. And so let's see here. So we have, again, all this stuff here, right? And then handle set view. Selected view is equal to switch selected view, case zoom, set view, show zoom true, and then it does all this and then it breaks. And then we have the second case, which, hold on. Which again does YouTube, show YouTube true, show email, everything else false, break. And then the next one, which does email, it'll set that email to true, everything else false, and then it breaks. And then WhatsApp, the same thing. It does all that. It says WhatsApp, everything else false, and then it breaks, and then we finish it off. So I do think this makes sense to me. I mean, I haven't tried it. I haven't tried using it yet, but it looks like it'll work. So now I just how do I add that? How to add that handle set view? How to add this to, and then we go back here. How to add that to here. This is exactly what we're trying to do. Okay, and so the way that you can add an on-click, and the course went over this, although this is not like a crazy important thing, but if you want to add an on-click property straight to a HTML element, like I'm usually adding on-clicks to components, but here I'm adding it straight to an HTML element. And so you need to write it as a function, basically. You need to write a function within a function, if you see what I mean. We have this on-click, and then we're declaring. So we're not actually allowed to add an on-click to a HTML element, but we can declare a new function. And so what we do is we declare an on-click function, and then inside there we add our other function. That's the way it works. I'm just going to copy the on-click there, and that would be up here. Yeah, so that would be that. I'm going to copy paste that for all of them after my hrefs. And so here would be YouTube, So Zoom, YouTube, email, and WhatsApp. Okay. By the way, there could be a better way of doing all this stuff. I'm just doing it this way. I feel like it's maybe a little bit long, but I only really have this one thing here, right? I only have this one menu cart thing going on here. I don't have like pages and pages of the stuff. If I did, I might find a different way of doing it, maybe with a component. But because I only have one component, so it doesn't really make a difference, I'll just hard code everything into here. And I see I'm getting a bunch of errors here. Let's see the console. Show zoom is not defined. So let's go back. What is show zoom? Show zoom is not defined. What do you mean by that? Show zoom not defined. Let's take a look what they mean by that. All right, so I think the most obvious thing here is that I need to pass it. I need to pass this thing an actual function. And you know what? We're kind of getting to the point where the only real way that I know how to do this is by making a new component. So that, what I just said before, just forget about it. It seems like I do have to make a new component. I think we're going to leave that for tomorrow. We've reached already 2 hours for today's coding session. Time to take a break. So thank you everybody for joining the stream. Wishing you all much success in your coding journey, and see you in the next coding session, which will hopefully be tomorrow. All the best.